Now we're going to look at some places where you can travel the world and stay in accommodation for free. Now, the site I like is trustedhousesitters.com. I have a link because you can get 25% off if you use my link, and I get 2 free months. Woohoo! All right. Now, here's the thing. There's a number of house sitting sites. There's a number of every type of site. And if you have one you like, wonderful. Stick with that. If you have no preference or you don't know or you're just starting out, I would recommend that you follow the sites that I recommend. Okay. Don't go and try to get on, 5 different house sitting sites. It's just a waste of your time. I've tried it. Bruce Lee said, Bruce Lee said, I do not fear the man who has practiced one time 1,000 moves. I fear the man who has practiced one move 1,000 times. And it does take time, energy, effort to get comfortable in using a site. When I first found out about this site, I was so excited. I was in Panama City. I just met 2 Canadians from the Yukon, and I'm house sitting right now, by the way. And one of the things that happens when you house sit is you have a cat or a dog or a horse or a chicken, and they may interrupt you while you're trying to do your work, but that's okay because they are wonderful. And that was Chloe. She doesn't like to be on my lap, but she likes to be bugging me when I'm trying to create this course for you. It's like she knows I want peace and quiet, and she comes over and she just scratches at my leg. And then I put her on my lap and she jumps down. Sometimes she stays. So if I look like I'm going down like this, it's because I'm finding her and I'm giving her a little pet. And I'm here in Cuenca, Ecuador, because of Trusted House Sitters. So getting back to my story, I was in Panama City. I didn't know about this site. I'm in a grocery store. I have a t-shirt on with the Canadian flag. 2 people come over to me and say, are you from Canada? And I go, yeah. And they had obviously not spoken English in a few weeks, as I hadn't either. And we just stood in the middle of the grocery store, blah, 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 blah. And they told me that tomorrow, at the time, they were going to Bali. And I'm thinking in my mind, that's a long trip. And in my mind, it's like you do small jaunts to get where you want to go. I couldn't understand why they were going to Bali. And then he said, well, we're staying on the beach for 6 weeks for free. And I go, oh, I'd fly to Bali tomorrow too, if that was the case. And he said, yeah, we use this site called Trusted House Sitters. So I got on. I was very excited. I sent out 30 applications and I got 1 rejection. I got 29 ignorances. I was ignored 29 times. I didn't even get a response, 1 response. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized the most important possession that these homeowners have is, well, their home, but more important than that is their pets. They love their pets, their family, and they're not just going to leave them with just anyone. And so someone like me who signed up like 2 minutes ago and had no reputation wasn't going to work. And so what I recommend is when you sign up, hopefully, unlike me, you're in your hometown because there's lots of weekend, particularly if you're in the United States, the UK, well, pretty much anywhere in Europe, as you'll see, and Canada. There's a lot of, weekend requests. And you can say to them, hey, I just got on the site. I want to do some traveling, but I need to get a reputation first. I really want to, look after your 2 cats or your 2 dogs or whatever when you're gone for the weekend. It's a low risk sort of thing. And you can meet me beforehand and all that sort of stuff and see what happens, right? And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up coming home for about 8 months, and I spent, which is just outside of Vancouver, Canada, and on Vancouver Island, I spent probably 3 or 4 months on 5 or 6 house sits. I got my reputation, and since then, I'm house sitting in Cuenca, Ecuador right now. I've house sit in Mexico, in Colombia, in Hong Kong, uh, in Florida, um, and of course in Canada. And so the way I like to use it is like, where do you want to go? And then you look for house sits in that direction. So I wanted to go to South America. I wasn't really looking for house sits in South America because it's a low cost area. You know, the house sits really pay for themselves. Well, they don't pay for themselves. The membership is not that expensive, but they're real. You save a lot of money if you're house sitting in Canada, Australia, the United States, Europe, um, Singapore, in Dubai, and they're the expensive places. The places that are inexpensive for me, the beauty is it's not just about getting a free accommodation, right? It's about living in the community. Like if I was to show you outside my window, I'm living in an Ecuadorian community with the Ecuadorians. I'm not in the touristy areas. I'm living the life. I'm seeing the culture. I'm experiencing their lives, which is really what I want to do to travel. I mean, you'd be really boring to travel the world staying in 5-star hotels all over the place because after a while they don't they all look the same. The culture is a big thing, but also it's about looking after their pets. So I was in Medellin on 2 occasions where 2 different couples posted that they needed someone to look after their pets, and I had a place to stay. I didn't. Well, in one case, it was 2 weeks, so I didn't stay where I was staying. I just went to their place. But another was a weekend, so it was no big deal. And it's really about giving to the community. And that's one of the things that is really important. You just can't take. You've got to also give. And I just got, don't ignore me on my shin again. You're a pain. You know that? So, and of course, she's around me all the time because, hey, she loves me and we have a great relationship, don't we? Yes, you know who feeds you. So that's kind of the beginning of the trusted house sitter journey that I wanted to share with you. It's very easy. You sign up, you have a dashboard, always leave reviews of where you stayed, telling them how nice the pets, everyone else, how nice the pets are and everything else, and then push to get a review as well. I have over 20 reviews here somewhere. So find a house sit, and then first of all, I sign up for the newsletter. And then the second thing I do is always look at the map. So here you can see there's the map of the world. There's 500 in the United States, 300 in Canada, 7 in Central America, 1, I believe that's Buenos Aires, 133 in Australia, and almost 1,000 in Europe, and there's actually that's South, and even 1 in South Africa. So you can see right away that South America and Africa are not a lot going on, right? Central America is a little bit more. And what it is in Central America, and well, here I am in Ecuador as well, is American, Canadian, European expats will buy a place, they'll live here, and then they want to go see their family. Well, they're not going to go see their family for a weekend. They're not going to go see their family for, not even a week. I mean, if they're going to make a trip that's hours and hours in a plane, it could be 10 hours in a plane if you want to cross the Atlantic. But oftentimes it's a full day. Like the lady that left here, she went to Boston. It was she left here at like 6 in the morning to go to the airport, and she arrived at like 10 at night. So, it's a significant. And then you've got 2 or 3 days to get over the travel, and then you're settled in. And then if you only have a week, 3 days, and then you come back here, that's not good. So she went for 2 months. I look for if I'm not already in the city, I look for 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Really, I don't really want to spend more than 6 weeks in one place. Having said that, I'm 2 months here, and then she's back for a month, and then I come back for 3 weeks. So it really also always depends, right? Dogs, and I think cats, um, they remember you, right? So I've done multiple house sits for dogs, and I'd be away for a month, come back, and the dogs were so happy to see me, right? They remembered, and so if there's someone, and I tell people, like, I'm flexible, and I really don't want your dogs to be stressed out. So if you're going away, you're going away for 2 weeks this month and 2 weeks next month for whatever reason, then consider me staying, and or not staying. Consider me coming for those 2 weeks. I'll go do something else for whatever the length of time is, and then I'll come back and look after the pets, because I think that's best. So I think Florida. We're going to take a look at Florida. Okay, so here's Florida. You can see as we scroll in, there's lots and lots and lots of places, right? So um, where do you want to? Do you want to stay in St. Petersburg? There's 8. Fort Myers. I actually have a friend in Fort Myers. So let's say that I wanted to go to Florida. So I look at the Florida map, and do I want to stay around Orlando and Disneyland? By the way, I travel single. Couples can do this very, very successfully. I do know people that have pets that do this, but that's a little more difficult, right? Um, because your pet has to get along with their pet, blah, blah, blah. But some people, they only want couples. If you know how to do carpentry and fix things and you're a handyman, then in some of the more obscure places, you are highly valued, because they'll go away for a month and they'll say, sometimes there's a leak in the roof, and if you can get up there and fix it, that'd be awesome. And these are, it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. So I'm here. I'm looking at Florida. There's 2 in Fort Myers. I'm just going to click on that. You can see one's right in Fort Myers, one's just outside. And over on this side, there it is, cat lovers. So you have to decide, do I like cats? Do I like dogs? I really think you should, like your homework, sit down. If you have a preference for cats, for dogs, that sort of thing. Oftentimes people have both, by the way. As you can see here, we have 1 dog and we have 3 cats. I'm in the way on this side, so can I scroll this up? Oh yeah, now there's 7 cats, okay? So cat lovers in sunny Florida, and it's October 12th to the 26th. And so first of all, it's like, when do you want to go? And usually, so this is September 26th, so it's 2 weeks away for this one. I don't know when they posted it, and then it's about a month away for the other one. And that's what I find. There's usually, what'll happen is people will decide, okay, we're going to go away, and then, pardon me, usually it's a month or 2 before they actually make the trip. It's like, okay, honey, like, we're going to go on vacation. When should we go? Like, let's go in October. Okay. And then it's, August when they start thinking about the plans and the flights or whatever it is that they have to do, or getting their details done. And then that's when they put the posts up, right? So there may not be anything when you look today, because you want to go in January, for example. And a little tip, by the way, is go to places that have bad weather at the time they have bad weather, because nobody else wants to go there when you start, and you're going to get, lots and lots and lots of good reviews. And then you leverage the good reviews to get better and better places, right? So I may not, so if I wanted to go to Fort Myers, I would post on those 2, and then I would probably post in Sarasota, or apply in Sarasota and St. Petersburg, because you just never know, right? And that's, kind of, let's just say it's close enough for my needs, right? And so we go over here, and I want to take a look, at this one. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so this one, and then you click on it and take a look, right? So 7 cats. Well, 7 cats are better than 7 dogs. I'll say that. And then you just take a look. Oh, it's a nice house. Oh, it looks comfortable. Beautiful sunset. Uh, oh, oh, this is the 1 dog, 3 cats. Okay, so there's the dog. He looks nice and friendly. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Aw. And you start falling in love with some of these animals just looking at them, right? Like, how cute is she or he, right? So such sweethearts. And then you read the introduction, blah blah blah. We have brand new home with a pool. Okay, so this is looking really good. And then our home and our location. They usually give some information. Now my requirement is high speed internet. If they don't have high speed internet, then I may still apply, but I'll ask them how fast is the internet, because some people will have really good internet and they just don't think it's high speed. I I need it because, hey, when I'm doing recordings like this, if I have bad Wi-Fi, then it's not very good. And then they tell you the responsibilities. Here are the pets, and then they have a map that shows you just what you already saw, right? And then you just hit apply now. Now, what I do, and I'll make this available for everybody, is I don't know if it would apply. Well, you can look at it. I have a text document that is my application, right? Because you hit apply now, and it opens up, and it basically says, "Come on." Say hi, Chloe. Say hi. See, you're famous now. Ow. So it has the date. You select the date and then tell them why you're perfect for their sit. The complaints I've gotten from people who do a lot of the hosting, right, and need pet sitters is when someone types in, "See my profile and let me know." And it's like, I hate it, right? I hate it too. Like you're showing absolutely no enthusiasm. So I'm going to uncheck that because I don't want to accidentally apply for this. I have a fairly long application letter. And then all I do is go in and I change the cities. I update it all the time because right now I'm in Ecuador, but the next time I could be in Mexico City so I keep updating it all. But it basically just says, wow, like your pets look really cute. I use the pets' names and I tell them why I want to go and how happy I am to look after them and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Very chatty, very open, because I want them to feel comfortable, right? And then normally what happens is, well, let's get on a Zoom call, we'll talk. And if I'm in the same city as they are, it's happened a couple times, then we meet for coffee, which is great because you want them to all feel comfortable. Because don't forget, this is their most precious darlings, their family they're leaving with you, their home. They don't want to come back and see everything wrecked. They want to know that you're going to look after everything fine, and you're going to take them for walks, or you're going to water the plants, or whatever it happens to be, and then away you go, right? And so, and then you hit the application. So to type this out, 20 times is a pain. That's after I did it, 3 or 4 times. I realized that, and then I just made a templated one, and then I just customized it for everybody, and then they wow, he's done this, he's done that. They know everything, and then as you think of things, I should have told them this. Away you go. Okay. The other thing, when I am in a house sit like I am right now, I almost every day take pictures of the pets and send them to the owners. They love it, and it's like, and the pets have their own characteristics and their own characters, right? So I'll tell them a little something, if I can. Well, cats will lay on you a lot, right? So I take a picture of the cat on me, and then the other cat on me, and then I send them, or I should pick a picture of them, if they're looking cute or they're sleeping somewhere, or just so that they know everything is fine. And then I do it almost every day because you see the cats every day. You feed I'm with cats now. That's why I'm talking about cats. You feed them every day. You see them every day. You got your phone with you every day. Like, why not take 2 seconds, take a picture, get on WhatsApp. Usually seems to be the program people like the most. Send the pictures. Tell them that the weather is nice and whatever. So they feel really comfortable knowing that they don't have to worry. If they don't hear from you for a week, then it's like, oh my God, what's going on, right? So it's really important that you keep them happy. All right. So now it's going to take a quick look at the dashboard. And the Trusted House Sitters has made some changes. They've got 3 levels now. I got in when there was only 1 level. You have to verify yourself. So, take a picture of your passport or your driver's license, send that to them. If you have, a friend that can verify that you're a good person, you put that in. That's the external references here. And then there's an inbox where people will reply. Here's some of my house sits. As you can see, San Isidro in Costa Rica in the summer, Escazú, Costa Rica before that. This was actually kind of interesting. I went to the Escazú one, and then the San Isidro one opened up, and there was like 10 days between the two, maybe a little bit more, 12 days, 13 days. So, of course, there's always travel days and that sort of stuff, so it doesn't work out to having 13 days off. But I flew up to Cancun. It's like $90 return or something, and spent some time on the beach. Escazú was 4 dogs, and it was steep. It was on the side of the hill, just at the edge of San Jose, and so I got fit, which is one of the things I like about dogs. And then I took a break, and then I came back, went to San Isidro for 12 days. Was there actually a little bit longer. I got there a little bit earlier. She asked me to come early, and then stayed a little bit longer. So I try to always be flexible on that part. But when you buy your ticket, you buy the ticket, you let them know, hey, this is when my flight's out, so I have to be gone. Where I'm staying now, she hasn't booked her flight back in December. So not this sit, but the next sit I'm doing here. And it was originally for the 18th. And she said, well, I was looking at the flight, blah, blah, blah. And I was wondering if it's okay if I came back on the 19th. I said, yeah, I haven't booked anything after this house sit, so that's fine. I'm quite happy to be able to do that for you. So these are your past sits. Here's, you get 3 months. Okay, so you get, if you join through mine, you get 25% off, and I get 2 free months. So I'll put that link there for you. And then here's a sitter profile, so we can preview that. And I have to preview, just a sec. I have to stay in this. It opened up another tab, but it's recording this tab. So we'll do that in a minute. You can edit your profile. So you can put a whole bunch of pictures in, and when you're available, and other stuff. So let me just get the URL. Oh, it changed. Good. Okay, so here's my profile. You can see we've got lots of different pictures. I was once clean shaven, and with some dogs. And then here's, I have 16 reviews, right? They're all glowing 5-star reviews. Wonderful. And it's my reference. And then here it talks about me, why I want to house sit, and my experiences, what I'll look after. I've actually looked after dogs, cats, horses, poultry, fish. Yeah, well, I guess if goats are livestock, goats, not cows. And then you can, these are the available dates. And I'm really happy. People have contacted me and said, hey, we'd really like you to look after our animals for a couple of weeks and whenever. And so that happens too, right? And then we have the inbox. So just to quickly show you that. So this is where I am now. It was accepted, and actually was supposed to come here a year and a half ago, but the border between Colombia and Ecuador closed, and we couldn't get across. And so what I tend to do is this is actually something I'm not doing, but as you can see, we have my application, their response, all that sort of stuff. And I like to label it, right? So I label it as I'm waiting to be accepted, then I am accepted, or not this time, so that I can kind of easily and quickly see where I am, because sometimes I have 10 or 15 in here, right? And yeah, so let's go back to find a house sit. And I just want to now show you Europe, because Europe's really cool. Like you can go all over Europe. Cyprus, there's people. So what happens is people will grow up, say, say in England, and then they have a summer house in Spain, or they move to Spain from England, and they're staying in Spain, but they want to go back to England for a month. So it's too long to leave a place empty, and if they've got pets, it can be a pain to get the pets back and forth across the border, and it's expensive for them to be in a hotel, right, at a pet hotel. So here's, for example, around Portugal. So Lisbon, there's lots. Down here's beautiful. And my goal next year, actually, well, and I don't know that it'll actually happen, because things change. But it was. I mean, depending on the borders are open and all that sort of stuff, right? I wanted to go to Portugal, then along the Spanish coast, along the French coast, through Italy, into Croatia and see Dubrovnik and Greece, and then into Turkey. Turkey, I just think, is amazing. The history and everything else is amazing. They get a bad rap. It's not really. I mean, it's deserved if you live in Turkey, or you're not a tourist probably, but if you're a tourist, it's awesome. And then over to Georgia and Armenia, and then head over to Egypt, and then down to Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, South Africa, Namibia, and then who knows what happens after that. But this part of the trip is probably going to be zero house sitting. But let's just take a quick look at a couple of these in Portugal. So Lisbon is cool. Beautiful town, beautiful city. Sometimes these come up last minutes. So here's, it's 5 days away to October 1st, and and there's a number of reasons why. They could have had a house sitter, and for some reason they flaked on them, or they just decided, hey, I've got an opportunity to go, a cheap flight, and so they put it up, right? New Ocean View Villa, walk. Okay, so let's just look at these two other ones. Oh, there's another last minute. It's tomorrow. One dog. And this is, see, this is something that I would never, ever, ever take, because it's 27, 28, 29. Like you can't even unpack, or the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, right? But you can see that they've got 16 to 20 applicants for that, right? So someone that's just, in the area, not far away, hey, no problem. And look at this beautiful place. And that's one of the things that happens when you start looking. You look at people, they show you, what their area is like, what cute dog, aw, and then it's like, wow, and you start learning about these places, right? No, I don't know about the Wi-Fi situation, so that's not one that I would ever go for. Now there we go. Okay, so this is also very pretty. Here's a beach. So I like beaches, and you start looking, it's like, wow, oh, I want to go, right? Oh, look at that market. It's beautiful. right? So this is the other thing that happens is like you start looking at places. Now Lisbon's well known, but if you go to lesser known areas, oops, too far, like the south, right? There's 4 house sits or 5 house sits, right? So this one is two. There's 2 near Faro. Okay. So there's take care of them. This is the 8th to the 30th. So that's 3 weeks. That would be fine for me to do, right? If I was looking at going here. And here's one, December 18th to January 2nd. So a lot of people travel at Christmas and they want someone to look after their pets. Now that means you have to give up your Christmas. But again, it's a great way to, if you're starting out, if there's a lot, nobody wants to house sit over Christmas, then you get that opportunity that other people wouldn't. But let's take a look at this one here. So this is 3 dogs, 2 cats. Is that 3 reptiles? But you've got, a beautiful view, a beautiful house. There's 1 dog, 2 dogs, cat. Oh, it's cute. And basic Wi-Fi. So there's, and right away it's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then, they didn't say, and I'm not going to read through this to get all the details, but they've got 8 to 11 applicants and a few weeks. So they'll be fine. And that's basically, my introduction to trusted house sitters, some advice on how to be successful on it. I really feel now, and it's been 3-4 years, I guess, 5 years maybe coming up. I feel like I could go anywhere in the world that I really wanted to. Oh, that was the other thing. Oops. Find a house sit. So I look at it as, I want to go to Central America. I look for house sits in Central America, and I really want to go to Guatemala. But you know what? Unsurprisingly, there's no house sits in Guatemala. But I can go do a bunch of house sits in Costa Rica, and then I can go to Guatemala, because the way I look at it is rent is $1,000 to $1,700 a month, and if I can spend 3 months in a house sit and save 3/4 of $750, then I can spend that on a pretty nice week stay somewhere else. And of course, you could stay in Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala very nicely for a lot less than that. And so that's kind of the way I look at it. It's like, wow, you're saving thousands of dollars in accommodation. You can afford to splurge on, a weekend here, a weekend there, or a week somewhere in a nicer place than maybe you'd want to do it if you were just constantly using Booking or Airbnb to live.